Good evening. Welcome to Astrology Throwdown tonight. We somehow made it to another Friday. Incredible. Every time it happens, I'm shocked, but it keeps happening. So that's good, I guess. Anyway, we are getting so excited to throw some more stones this weekend. This bracelet is the most beautiful bracelet I've ever given away. It's this gorgeous lavender. So beautiful. It's big lavender stones. And you can see what it looks like on the blog. If you scroll down, you're going to want this bracelet. This one's really nice. I'm actually wearing one just like it, so I can show it to you. This is a good one. I read, but look, it's got little things on it. Yeah, I'm going crazy with these bracelets, and I put all the little dangles on it. So I go overboard on everything. So what else is going on apart from throwing stones? Somebody made my day. Elvis put up another playlist on his YouTube channel, which is by far the best YouTube channel. For me, I love it. And there's so much going on, and I continually discover new songs and things I've never heard before. And where is he? What is he doing? What's going on? What is he up to? Just like Napoleon, he's so fascinating. He's so full of contradictions and full of surprises. It's really Napoleon. I can't believe it. It's so amazing. Anyway, so I'm continually astonished by everything that's going on. I know I say that all the time, but I think we're in the middle of the greatest story in the history of the world. Whoever could even imagine a story like this? Even if it weren't true, it would still be the best story, but it's actually true. And what story am I talking about? I'm talking about Napoleon, who was Napoleon, the most amazing genius ever with the Jupiterian vision. Oh wow! I mean, Napoleon. Don't get me started about him. He's the greatest, and he believed that he had been other huge leaders like Charlemagne and Julius Caesar and Alexander, and he believed that. And if you listen to the memoirs that I have broadcast, please do so if you haven't. All the people around him completely believed him. And they make a case for why he really was Alexander, he really was Julius Caesar, he really was Charlemagne. He would convince the people around him that he had been those people, just like Elvis has clearly convinced me that he was Napoleon, and he's been calling himself Napoleon for a long time. So I doubt I'm the only person in his life who thinks was Napoleon. I every day can see it more. But there's this whole other thing going on because I don't know him. I've never met him. I have this bizarre reaction to him. I'm so I don't I go crazy about him. It's like Hard Day's Night with the girls running after the Beatles, like I'm one of those girls. That's the Beatles to me. So I can't believe this is happening. The Beatles to me is Elvis. Ugh. So this is beyond. This is like if Boris Becker were like winning Wimbledon and he like jumped over the net and said, "Dance yourself for you," but way better because it's just tennis and this is music and Napoleon. So I'm actually miserable, but I'm actually really happy sometimes. So I hate to admit that I'm sort of happy, but I'm such a fan of his, and I feel like he's pulling me into his life, and I want to be in his life so much. I can't even tell you, and it's scary because he's different. He's really different, and but I'm really different. I don't fit in my environment at all. It's been hard for me to understand. I'm fundamentally different than everyone around me. And when I say things, they don't know what I'm talking about and they think that I'm weird. So this has been my whole life, just being misunderstood and not fitting in and everything. So I I wondered, like, why am I even here? Like, I don't, match with anything. But anyway, so speaking of that, I really want to learn astrology, and I really want to deal with all the relation difficulties that I have, that I really do have, that are in my chart. And I can feel that I'm being pushed in a certain direction, and I'm being prepared to go where I'm going, wherever that is. I really do feel that I am on a journey. It is heading somewhere. And in this spot in my journey right now, I'm being asked to focus on astrology and to really understand it, and to have my own understanding of it, my own experience of it. Because until I learn this myself, I'm relying on people who I don't know, and I don't trust the internet. So we are trying to create a method where we're acquiring this knowledge ourselves. No one can take it from us, because it'll be our knowledge, and we will have experience by how these aspects represent themselves in a chart. So when we look at Chiron, we can say, okay, we have some kind of expectation of what a Chiron in that house, or making that aspect would be. And then we can understand where our strengths and our weaknesses are. And then once we understand that's going to be a rough spot, we can amend it. I'll tell you one thing I've learned about myself over the last couple of months. I have Venus in Capricorn, and it's still hard to believe that astrology is real too, to me. But Venus in Capricorn, whoa! I'm hot blooded. I am a hothead like no other, and yet I have Venus in Capricorn. Can you imagine? So I've got this constriction in the expression of love. I can't express love easily, and I really can't. It's so amazing, because Elvis is so expressive of his love, and I'm like, it's hard for me to do that. I have Venus in Capricorn. Like, I can really see that. I can really see it now. So this is real. So then I have to make the effort to be like, I'm trying to like pet my dogs more. Like, I'm trying to love my dogs more, because I don't show them that much love. That's a horrible thing to realize about yourself. Like, I'm not showing my dog enough love. But I'm not. I'm really not, because I do have this Saturn in near Venus, and it's opposition Saturn. So I have this block on my heart. And who showed me that? Who showed me that? I mean, not that I totally didn't know, but in the amazing guitar tutorial, which I go on about and want to go on about more. I love it. I love that I think that guitar tutorial, how to play guitar and why, which is available on Audible, which was made by Elvis Costello. The It's incredible, and I hope everybody tries it, and I hope everybody learns guitar. And we're just going to be so busy trying to learn the chord of F that will stop listening to the warmongers on the television, or the people on television trying to make us feel like fat and insecure, like we should be on a diet. That's all on purpose. That is all on purpose. Like, oh, you could lose 5 more pounds. That's all on purpose. Okay, you don't need to lose 5 more pounds. Okay, maybe you do. Maybe you do. But it's not the TV's job to tell you that. Okay, I'm sick of it. My whole life. Oh my goodness, don't start me on this one. But this, like, women are always too fat thing, that's a trick, okay? Women are not always too fat, okay? And also to show us women on television that don't look like us, and then to tell us we're fat, that's evil, okay? Okay, because I can never have the body of someone who's on TV, okay? That's wrong, okay? And they need to stop doing that. Stop telling women they're fat and then showing us people on the television who are not like us. That is evil. That is evil. It's evil to them too. Okay? It's evil to all of us to be playing all these games and to be running us against each other and trying to make us feel inadequate. See, that's my Saturn in Capricorn. I do feel inadequate anyway. I don't need the TV to help. That's the truth. Okay? And anything we're doing that's not listening to them is wonderful. And I'm getting so much from practicing guitar, and the I don't know. I can't help it. It's too important to me. That body image situation, that destroys our lives. That's destroying women's lives. All these lives, I can't believe it. And all these women look in the mirror and think they're ugly because they need to lose 5 more pounds. That's unbelievable. And it's so on purpose. Oh my goodness. Once you see the tricks and they got the diets going again or the flat abs going again. Yeah, women don't really have flat abs. Okay. I'm sick of it. Women are not known for their flat abs. This is insane. Oh my goodness. See, that is a rant that's just going to have to end. But oh, I mean that. Women do not have flat abs. So to put that on us is very evil. Okay. Women don't look like that. Very cool. Anyway, so obviously I got my body image situation pretty messed up and I am still mad about it. You never feel like you're good enough. And I already have all this Saturn, so I don't need it. Anyway, so back to this situation with Elvis. I can't believe how bad I'm rambling. It's so bad. Anyway, I love this incredible audiobook. And I just love his approach and I love his philosophy. And he applies how to live your life in a better way to how you should play guitar. And everything is he's so smart. What is he saying? He's saying play the guitar. And if you do it wrong, that's okay. And some of the best things that he's done were him failing to imitate someone that he admired. What an incredibly liberating philosophy. And it probably can help you turn into a great musician. So it's really good advice and it's great wisdom and it's very freeing and it's about, working in a disciplined way. So he's still staying true to his Sun in Virgo, Mercury in Virgo roots. He's saying work and suffer and do what you have to do to learn guitar, but then be very playful about it. And I'm taking that very seriously. And I know I just have to keep playing until I feel I have to transform my hand and make my hand just stronger. I don't think I really can even do those harder chords. I don't think my fingers can do it yet. So I'll keep playing. Anyway, so it's a wonderful, 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 wonderful contribution to culture. And I put up videos and I hope people really get a lot out of it. I think it's such a gift. It means so much to me. And if I end up being able to make music, oh my goodness, I'll be very grateful. This could really change the world if people understand the value of it. That's really what we need, and that's what I would like to do as a publicist, because I am a publicist. I would like to bring value to what deserves value, and that's why I've made it a charity. So, I really do believe in these things. So at least someone's telling the truth and promoting things of value because the other publicists are, and I think of this line all the time now, this line from The Other Side of Summer. They bury your dreams and they dig up the worthless. It just sums up the whole system that we're up against that can't have any non-banker dynasty publicists, because that's what I'm realizing lately. They don't control the world through really anything but the sort of management publicity machinery around culture and government. Government's really just a show because it's not real. So it's the same thing. And you can see how, Washington and Hollywood are so exactly the same. It's by the same exact people. It is the same exact show. That's why they can take Trump from the TV right to the White House. It's all the same trickster show from the same trickster banker dynasty. So the talented people can come in and out. I mean, I even worked for them. I was a photographer for them. And then when I'm not compliant enough, they just get rid of you. But who's always there? The publicists. And that's what I was noticing when I was a celebrity photographer. I was just, skulking in this corner with my camera, not fitting in like always. And I would just look around because I am really interested in power and I'm really curious about it. So that's power. This whole this show they're putting on. It's how they're masking their power. So you can feel you're in the presence of the big time when you're at this red carpet stuff, and you see who's in charge, and you see who the dummies are, and you see who, you can see what everybody's on, and you can see how who's in charge, and you can I was like, "Whoa, this whole celebrity thing is BS, BS, BS." They just roll them out, and when they're done, they just throw them out. They're nothing to it. And then you see the publicists, and they're the dukes, they're the really important people, and they're walking around, and everybody's doing whatever they want. And you're like, "Oh, this whole thing is publicists. This is the publicists are really everything here." And then you realize, what did I become? I became a publicist, and they couldn't have that. So they had to pull me into their tricks, and then they kept giving me these they would give me BS stories that they would think that I would like that lawyer in Germany. That was a BS story, but they thought I'd like it. So as long as I'm reporting a BS story, they're happy because I'm lying, even if they're tricking me into lying. So they have to inject their lies into everything. So every single time they ever gave me, there was a story that I hoped was real. And it was just them tricking me because they think they win something if they can trick me and I report it as real. So we're dealing with people who are, uh, I really want you to understand that they win something if they can trick me into reporting the wrong thing. They win something. So every time I look, I can't know I'm being tricked until I know I'm being tricked. So I have to look into things. Okay. So every time I was wrong about something, I'm seeing, look, I might be wrong. But this is my perception of it. Let's look into it. And then eventually I go, oh, it's them again, of course. And then you realize it's like always them again. It's all fake. They have all the money. So, people like me are not hiring publicists to do psyops or anything. It's just one super wealthy group and the rest of us trying to figure out how to survive. It's a small group. These are not normal people. We can cut the strings from them. There's nothing they can do. All they can do is chase us around and say, "You need us. You need us." We don't need them. Absolutely. Oh, but money. Cut the strings. We can find a way. We can move on. But it does require a certain kind of spiritual resolve and some kind of faith. And we can get that. It's within us. Stay out of the subverted things. Okay. Anyway, so I'm trying to say that we are in the midst of, I think, the greatest story of all time. We have that that horrible dynasty. We have Napoleon's back. I can't talk to him because that horrible dynasty has blacklisted me and quarantined me permanently as a healthy person. So they will make up any story, they will lie any lie, and then they have all of these blackmailed uh, traitors who will institute these rules no matter how far outside of fundamental law they go, no matter how far they go beyond constitutional rights, or even if they're violating the Nuremberg Code. These people will commit any crime because they're so blackmailed. And that's the situation we're in. So in the midst of that atmosphere, there's Napoleon over there. I can't believe this. Anyway, so somehow we have to get him out of it. The whole thing runs through blackmail. And they all have to get their hands dirty together. It's all about mutually assured destruction. And basically nobody can talk because they all did it, whatever it is. And we don't even quite know what they did, but they all did it. Okay. And that's the name of the game. So we are getting some really interesting confessions on the blog through these playlists because Elvis, unusual, daring, magnificent Elvis, um, is he wants us to know about his life, and he has told us a lot in his songs. And when he puts these playlists together, I feel he's revealing great things, really interesting things that I really don't want to know, but I'm curious about. Don't want to know too much. Sounds horrible. Oh my goodness, what a nightmare we're living under. But nonetheless, we can still tell a story, and we can still get to the other side, because we'd better get to the other side. And I have this whole other crazy thing going on, this other overlay, which is that I talked to the ghost of Napoleon. I've been hearing him since the 90s, and this is like the most important thing to me, this connection that I have to this dear, 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 dear Napoleon. And then he's telling me this is Napoleon. This is, and they didn't tell me till now. And this ghost, which is so perfect and dear to me, and he is. I mean, he's still Napoleon, but he's perfect. He's just, he's a, he's an angel, basically. He's angel form of Napoleon, and he really is. I mean, he's still a badass, but it's angelic Napoleon, and boy, he is great. So, he told me to attack like Earth Realm, Elvis Napoleon. He told me to do that. That's and didn't tell me that was him. That's the weirdest part. And now I go through all these videos and I see how I hurt him. It's like I cannot believe it. Ugh. Okay, so I'm trying to let you know the anguish we live with, the three of us. It's two of us, but there's a spiritual. I'm sure I have to have a higher self, but I don't talk to the higher self. I'm wondering if my higher self is talking to somebody else. So, because I can tell my higher self's been doing things because I can see it in Elvis's songs. Okay, things just get weirder and weirder. So today I went through my synastry with me and Earth Napoleon Elvis, and poor Elvis, because I focused on his Venus, and his Venus is right next to his Neptune, which is right next to Ceres. Okay, so he has these three uh, planets. Ceres is an asteroid, but they're planets, just call them planets. So the planet, these are like the softest, sweetest planets. And they're in Libra, so they're really just they just want to make music and have fun and nurture. So so sweet, so gentle. And then right there is where my Uranus is, just shocking him, disturbing him, just making things tough on him. And but he's interested, he likes the shocks. And this is what's going on in the synastry. So if you go in the astrology report on my blog, you will see all of these things I wrote all over the synastry chart between me and Elvis. Okay? So I'm already Uranus next to his beautiful Venus Neptune in Libra situation. So gentle and beautiful and sensitive. And I'm just shocking and disturbing left and right. And that is in my place of others. Okay, so in my chart's place of others, there he is. Okay, his Saturn in Scorpio, his Venus and Neptune in Libra. It's all right there in my place of others. Okay, so right there you have like a perfect fit. This is the other person, and he's right by the seventh house. I'm always talking about my big shot in the seventh house, but it's not just one. It can be different ones. So I keep going up against a big shot. It can be a friend or foe. It could be a friend who becomes a foe. So it's really interesting because it does pop up like, oh, another big shot. Interesting. And it's somebody powerful, a Scorpio. So he's right there with his planets. And you can see that if you, my part of the chart is the blue inner planets. Okay, fine. So then what else is going on? What am I doing to his Venus? What am I doing to his Venus? Okay? Terrible things. Horrible, disturbing things. My oh my goodness, I felt so bad for him today. My Chiron, okay, is no, his Chiron. My Chiron, it's my Chiron. My Chiron is opposite his Venus, okay? So what does that mean? Chiron. I mean, if there's one thing going on between me and him, it's Chiron. A magnificent hurt. That is Chiron. That's the Chiron song, Magnificent Hurt. Because it is a magnificent hurt. Chiron will tell you what you need to know so you can get to the next level, and that is magnificent. I was thinking about it, like, I'm still so bitter that I felt like I was too fat my whole life when I was just a normal female because of the television, and I'm still so bitter about that. That's a Chiron, you know? Why am I so bitter? Because I'm so wounded. Why am I so wounded? Because I believed those lies. I believed that I was too fat. I believed that I should have abs. Women don't look like that. Why do they want women to look? Why are they doing this to women? Why do they hate women? Why do they hate women so much? Why are they trying to change humans so much? It's an interesting question, isn't it? Why is that so important to them? Are they not human? See, you have to keep coming back to this question. Why is it so important for them to breed and alter us? Why do they always treat us like we're some kind of livestock for them to toy with? Can we cut those strings and run screaming from them, never to see them again? How can we get away from these people that treat us like lab rats? Hmm. Such an important question. I hope we're going to really figure that one out because there is a way. And I think all of us need to unite and fight like mad to get away from them. Okay. Because they are extremely toxic and dangerous to us. Wow. That is something that needs to be said constantly until it gets better. So, as you know, that is the case. And Kyron, see? But we are very wounded. And the solution is to deal with those wounds and to face them. And once we deal with those wounds, we can move on. So my Chiron is opposite Elvis's Venus. Okay. So when Chiron, which is I'm the Chiron in this scenario. Okay. I'm so wounded, and I am. And as the wounded one, I am like, it's your fault. You're the bad guy. I'm not the bad guy. You're the bad guy. Like that kind of thing. I'm not the wounded one. You're the wounded one. That's sort of the what would be happening in a synastry. I think I'm trying to figure out myself. Right. I was saying you're the bad guy. I'm the good guy, or something. I think that's how they were saying it. That it's like a projection of the shadow self when it's that kind of thing. And so he's showing me all of these things that I haven't had to deal with because I've just been so hardworking and isolated. I don't have to deal with what if you fall in love with someone who has tons of groupies? What would that be like? I never really had to think about that. Oh my goodness. You see, that would help me understand certain wounds and insecurities that I may have. I'm trying to show you it's happening, and I'm like, oh wow, what would that be like? I guess it would be great and not great. How do you deal with that? What a nightmare. Anyway, so this is all Chiron. So we've got tons of Chiron going on. And then if in the reverse, we have Chiron. So if I'm not Chironing him enough, he's going to Chiron me back. I hope I'm showing it. He's showing me my other side, and I can't believe it. I cannot, seriously. He's cheerful next to me. I thought I was fine. He's showing me that I am more miserable than he is. He's more hopeful than I am. As miserable as he is, he's more hopeful than I am. That shocked me. I found that out in the last couple months because of him. I am darker than he is. I can't believe that. But that's what he showed me. So Chiron is showing me my wounds. I do a kamikaze art project. I mean, it doesn't get darker than that. Is he doing a kamikaze? He is now. Anyway, whatever. We'll do our best. We'll do our best. Okay, so he has a Chiron running around this chart too. His Chiron is square my Uranus. And yeah, we've got this shocking, we are shocking. I am bringing a lot of shockingness to his music situation, because that's what that is, Venus and Neptune and Libra. That's like his music career. And I'm bringing all this shockingness to it. That's really happening. So you can really see that this is happening. How interesting. So when we mix, I bring all of this freedom to his music situation. That's cool. And then that squares his Chiron. Okay, so what does that mean? His Chiron. So his wounds are like going up against my Uranus. So I'm all shocking and free and rule breaking and um philanthropic, but I like to stay on my own. You know what I mean? I do have a ton of that Uranus, and it is connected to my ascendant, so I have a ton of it. And then he has his wounds. Oh my goodness. Well, he's really challenging my notions of freedom. Oh my goodness. So he's yeah. I mean, he's like anyway. So let's just say we're teaching each other about wounds and pain for sure, and hopefully we'll just snap out of it and move, just blast forward, not let any of this hold us back. Who cares? And we do have a lot of really difficult aspects going against his Venus. But the whole point is that's what where all this like heat and excitement and energy and power are coming from. The conflict, I can't talk to him. I'm quarantined. He has this complicated situation he's in, and we're all rooting for him. All of these, it's all right here. It's ridiculous. He has Jupiter, Moon, Uranus. That's a stellium he has. Imagine that. Jupiter, Moon, Uranus. That's his emotional situation. So it's so amplified, and it's so shocking and eccentric, and oh my goodness. And that's where his music comes from, because it's so global, inclusive, grand. It transcends boundaries. It has that Jupiter educational, high-minded, high culture feel. It's very elegant and very knowledgeable, and then so emotional, and then so inventive and original. So you can really see that stellium in him. And that's so you have to look at it as one thing, this which really is him. This grand eccentric. So, oh my goodness, you never know what he's gonna do, which is really cool about him. And it's square my Uranus. So, so it's just gonna be difficult, but I'm only gonna make it more shocking. That's what that says. And then, of course, he has his own aspects that'll also rub up against his music career and his nurturing and all that spirituality that he has with the Neptune. And also Mars opposition Neptune. So I'm kind of treating his Venus as like a Venus Neptune because they're conjunct. I didn't say that, but I said it sort of. But so my Mars on my ascendant, that sad, abused, trapped, right next to Chiron too, on my ascendant. So I'm like this abuse victim, and I am. I'm such an abuse victim. It's terrible. But my abuse victim thing on my ascendant is opposite his Venus Neptune. So they say that's the shadow. So Mars is really, excitable, and then the other side, it's Venus, a Venus Neptune. What would that be? Yeah, that would be combustible. That could be interesting. So that's very interesting to look at this. And the other thing, and this is like the marker of destiny, is vertex Venus. My vertex is conjunct his Venus. So that's supposed to be like forever and a day kind of stuff. And then he has of course it's a Venus Neptune alignment. So this is a very high drama, very big story. This is a Romeo and Juliet kind of situation. And we'll see. We'll see. We will see what will happen. Will I never be able to talk to him? Is it going to be that bad? So we'll find out. All right. Enough of that, right? Okay. I just I have an iPhone over here and it almost went over once. So I don't want to lose the iPhone. So, oh, these letters are sad. The Napoleon letters. So he's just totally checked out of his marriage. We've shown you that he had his heart broken, and you see what happens to him. He turns into this kind of shallow, almost a shallow person. I hate to say that about Napoleon, but like he loved to win, you know. So they did subvert him. This is not the best of him. That side that loves to win, he was subverted. Anyway, I can always see that so much. So all right, I'll just read the next letter. Just see, why not? It is very long time since I have had news of you. The fine fetes at Baden, Stuttgart, and Munich, do they make one forget the poor soldiers who carry on all covered with mud, rain, and blood? I'm going to leave soon for Vienna. We are negotiating for a peace. The Russians have left and are in a flight far from here, returning to Russia badly beaten and deeply humiliated. I am eager to be again with you. Adieu, my love. My eye trouble is over. Napoleon. The next letter is a classic letter. So Josephine was like not writing to him in a timely fashion, and he gets really mad in these letters because she should be, and she just didn't think about that about Josephine. She knows this is the biggest deal in the world to him, right? Okay. The other biggest thing in the world to him is her not getting into debt. Okay. If only she could just write him letters and not get into debt. And that's why to him, Marie Louise was such a step up because she would write letters and not get into debt. It's all he asked. This is the truth. This is history. The history of Napoleon's marriages. He was thrilled that Marie Louise would just not get into debt and write letters. That's how little he asked of his wives. Okay. And Josephine couldn't even do the only two that he cared about. He asked very, very little. And I just want to show you how bad his marriages were. And it's important to consider that because he was, anyway. Okay, enough of that. No more of that. Okay, so we're back into the incredible memoirs of Elvis. I definitely want to know what's going on his end. He's clearly having a whole other metaphysical, supernatural, paranormal experience over there. I'm so curious what he knows, what he's seen, what he remembers, because I only remember some things, couple little things. And I can see he's on a whole other track, and it's like blows my mind because look, at a certain point I did tune him out, and that seems like when he would have gotten really interesting to me is right where he, so like I missed him for 10 years. 2010, I was like, that's it, I'm not getting anywhere near this anymore. And then I can see looking back, that's when he got like really good. What's going on? What is going on? There is something going on. I'm telling you, he and I are on, we have destinies and we're fulfilling them. And I really think he did what he was supposed to do, but it was messy and it's horrible. And we have to get out of this. And this is really about saving the world. We're all compromised, okay? Whatever he did, whatever they all did, we have to get out of this. We have to get out of this. We cannot worry about whatever the blackmail is, okay? It has to end. Has to end. Whatever the blackmail is, nobody cares. We have to move on. Seriously. Whatever it was, we have to move on. I can't have the whole world blackmailed by a banking dynasty. We can't live like this. All right, so I really didn't understand what happened yesterday with the guy jumping into a pool. Sounds like he like killed himself or something. I didn't quite get it. Something, but young Declan is in the pool, so there's water involved. So let's just continue. Even though I didn't really get it. When I first got to Liverpool as a teenager in a residence, I stayed for a while with my aunt and uncle in Anfield. The windows at the front of the house would rattle from the roar of a goal being scored at the Liverpool ground, less than a quarter of a mile away. My Uncle Arthur had been a milkman, but at the time was working as a foreman in an electronics factory. He spent most of his spare time tending vegetables at his allotment or keeping his 1959 Ford Consul on the road with the sort of skill for mechanical things that has always eluded me. His wife, my Aunt Pat, my Auntie Pat, was a beautiful woman of Irish descent with dark hair and a sharp tongue. She was almost in show business as she worked part-time as a receptionist at the Wookie Hollow, a vaguely notorious Anfield nightclub at which middle-aged women swooned to the operatic voice of the American singer Lovelace Watkins. Every evening, I'd scan the Liverpool Echo for folk club notices, trying to find somewhere to play. Most of the adverts specified traditional folk night. I quickly found out that they'd show you the door if you sang your own songs, while a flush-faced fellow in an itchy sweater who'd never been farther out to sea than the ferry boat to New Brighton would go off to great acclaim if he sang the Holy Ground or some endless whaling song. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a very nice evening.